Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Aries EDC. So, we're at the beginning of 2025, and I have gotten a bunch of subs over the past month or two, and it's time for me to revisit all of the knives that are available and every model that is available for the books. Um, Especially now that I have flushed out three new models. We have the Warmcliff Bloom. So I actually have a version of that here. So you can check that model out. That nice bloom shape. It's the same overall size as the Bloom, but now we have this nice Warmcliff style blade. Um, and we have the Cardinal XL, which is a larger version of the Cardinal, which we're going to go over here in a minute, and the Rockhopper XL. And I still have these knives sitting here, so I'm able to share these, but these soon are going to be going out to a pass around group, and you're going to be seeing these on some of your favorite knife channels. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy them, and hopefully, they have good things to say. But these were all prototyped for the month of January, and I was able to finish them up, and I still have them here. But I also want to visit the rest of the knives and the rest of the models that I have. Normally, I would have them all laid out here, but because it's gotten so big, I can't do that. So let's get into it. All right, guys. So I'm going to start with some of the most popular models that I have. I guess these are the ones that come up with 9 times out of 10, or what I believe are going to be a very popular model, and kind of the blade size that I kind of live in. So, the one that really speaks to me is the Bloom, and you guys have seen my Bloom, the red and black Bloom. I've shared it several times, and we also have a smaller version of that called the Pedal, and the Pedal is about a 2.5-inch blade, and just a little handle, basically designed for my wife. So my wife has the Pedal. The Pedal is going to be one of the smallest blades that I have, and it's going to be starting at one of the cheapest, starting at about $150 for an 80 CRV2 blade, and maybe just G10 handles, keeping it nice and simple. That's where your cost is going to be. And it just kind of goes up from there based on the size and the materials that you choose if you get into the books. Now, the books is a completely different thing, but this is just kind of an explanation of all the blades that are available if you do happen to get into the books to get a custom knife for me. I'm going to go, this is kind of a long form of all of this just to share all the different models. So we have the Bloom, we have the Pedal. You could do something like a Bloom harpoon. So it's just a harpoon on the Bloom. So that's a nice little addition. We have the Bloom 2, which is the one I just showed you guys. Another popular is the Thorn. This is one that I've done a drop for recently. Really cool. It's just under 3-inch blade and a really, really nice EDC fixie. The Rockhopper is a fan favorite. A nice Warncliffe kind of flat style. Nice round handle, really fills the hand. Really like the Rockhopper. And the Cardinal. The Cardinal is excellent. Little 3-finger knife, but nice little drop point blade, and with a lanyard and everything that fills your hand nicely. And just recently now we have the Cardinal XL, which I just shared with you, and the Rockhopper XL, which is here as well. Also in the Bloom series, you have the Bloom XL. So the Bloom XL is something that I do have, where you get a 4-finger handle and about a 3-inch blade, or just under 3-inch on the Bloom XL. So you have your regular Bloom and then the Bloom XL. Of course, prices go up based on the size of those knives. So this is kind of an idea of kind of your regular offering and what most people would pick. The only thing I haven't talked to you guys about is the spike. Uh, the spike is, excuse me, wow, a sax inspired design. And this one is a four finger handle, and still excellent for EDCing. Just so you guys know, it did start off as a three finger, and the only thing I did was extend this handle out just a little bit more to give it that nice four finger handle. So now the three finger is no more, and we have the four finger spike. So that's really, really neat. Also, a model that doesn't come up a lot, and it's kind of a play off on the rock hopper, is the puffin. You kind of have that nice kind of sheep's foot style blade, but basically it's the same as the rock hopper, except it gives you that a little bit of a different shape. So you got that nice, almost a spay, almost like a spay blade on that. So another model that you could do is a puffin. So you have the pedal, the bloom harpoon, bloom Warncliffe, the Bloomcliff, Bloom XL, four finger spike, thorn, cardinal XL, rock hopper XL, and the puffin. Next up is kind of the model that started it all, and it's the Obsession. This was kind of the first design that I ever really came up with. And the first knife that I ever made was an Obsession. So it's a nice little kind of Skinner type deal. And then I adjusted that, and now I made a Obsession harpoon because you know what? Guess what? A harpoon makes everything a little bit better. And then the smallest knife that I have is the Mini Obsession, and it's just basically a smaller version of the Obsession. Um, and it's a nice small little blade. This is actually the knife that my daughter has. She wanted a little Mini Obsession. Great little package opener. Really nothing more than that, but it's a great tool to have just in case. So the Mini Obsession is another model, and obviously that would be more on the cheaper end of what you could do. So you have the Obsession harpoon, and the Mini Obsession. So next up is a line of skeletonized blades that I offer. The Naked Column is a skeletonized blade that I normally would do. It's a fun blade shape, and normally the handle would come in holes roughly to what this is. This is just gives you an idea of that, but it's comfortable in the hand, and it really feels pretty good. And it gives you that nice tall blade. And the Gargoyle and the Mini Gargoyle are both, they were roughly designed to be skeletonized, but both of these have now been adjusted to where I could do handle scales for both of these, which turn out really, really well. So just another option for you. And then the Creep is definitely a skeletonized blade, and it's usually very, very small. And I almost consider this like my little neck knife model that I create. Um, it is skeletonized, small little EDC fixie, but again, on the cheaper end of things versus on the Gargoyle, which is going to get pretty, pretty big. So that's a four finger knife and about a 3-inch blade on the Gargoyle. And the Naked Column's pretty small. And the Mini Gargoyle has that nice line to it and is super comfortable. And it makes great knife, especially when skeletonized. So there you go. Next up are some Outlier models. I just recently redesigned the column. So I just showed you guys the Naked Column, and this is the regular full column. So you get a nice handle. It's a nice thick handle. And again, you get that blade shape. I don't know what you want to call that, sheep's foot, butcher kind of cleaver-esque type of blade shape. But yep, that's kind of where the column now lays. I got the brand new handle for it. Just so you guys know, I guess I can show this to you, even though I'm not really super proud of it. But the column used to look like that, and it had this blade handle shape, which I was never really a fan of. and now I changed it to this, and it makes it very comfortable. I just completed one for the month of November or October. I did a Nitro V column, and it turned out really, really well. We have the Bud, which is a very, very utilitarian EDC knife. 3 fingers with the lanyard makes it perfect, and it's an excellent little cutter. And look, I design a lot of my knives to be 3 finger pinch grip type, being up here when you're using it. So again, that's perfect size for that. And just recently, I did the Hawk, and the Hawk is coming into fruition this month. For the month of January for 2025, I'll be finishing up the first ever Hawk, and it's turning out really, really cool. But I'm hoping that will now be available for when and if you get into the books. Next up are 4 designs that were either collaborative efforts or someone who has given me the green light to use their design. First up is the Torcido, designed by Cheeto Bandito. And this was a full-fledged design that he gave me, and he's blessed me and said, go forth, be merry, and just continue to make them. So the Torcido just basically means curved in Spanish, and it has that nice kind of shilling blade style. And I really like the Torcido and how they end up coming out. We have the Yocto, which is the first design that was sent to me by somebody else, and they have blessed me and said, please make whatever you want to do. This is from Tim over in Germany, the owner of Yocto Leather Works, and he does some amazing stuff in leather, but he is the designer of the Yocto, and he has given me my blessing to, or his blessing to, go forth and to make this knife. So that is also something available. These 2 are collaborative efforts. So this was help designed by Tim B, our good friend, your good friend, Tim B in the community. He sent me a bunch of ideas, and me and him brainstormed back and forth to see what this was going to look like, and we came up with this. And this is the Tobico, named after the swamps, some swamps protected areas up in Michigan, and someplace really close to his heart. So that's why it has that name. So we have the Tobico. And this is the Flamingo, which was helped designed by Stacy Bolser Blades. Again, it's a collaborative effort between myself and her, going back and forth, coming up with the designs, and she has signed off on this one. And it makes a really, really fun EDC blade. It's basically the size of a bloom, maybe just a little bit longer than a bloom, but it's an awesome little fixie. Has that nice kind of sheep's foot harpoon type thing. I don't know. I don't get into blade shapes. It just looks really stinking cool. Last but not least are the 2 biggest models that I have that are available for the books. You have the Pistol, which is a full 4-hand knife, 4-finger knife, little nice harpoon shape. I do push that forward now, so that forward harpoon gets right where your thumb needs to be. And you have the Stigma, which was kind of a hunting knife that a friend of mine asked me to make for him, and I kind of went with it. And yeah, it's a great little hunter, little camp knife, anything like that. So we have the Stigma now. Obviously, the Stigma and the Pistol are going to be a little bit more expensive, just because of the size and materials that are needed for those 2 knives. So there it is, guys. We have all of these knives that are now available for you when you get in the books to be able to get one. The table is starting to get full, and my designs are starting to take over. It's been an amazing ride, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all of the support that you guys continually give me. It is pretty stinking cool that now all of these models are now available for the books. Notice I left out the crow. So the crow is not available. I also left out the talon. The talon is definitely not available, so please do not ask for that. And I am still not 100% sold on the Gadsden being part of it either. That tip kind of scares me. So those are 3 designs that are still not available for the books. But you can pick any of the designs that I shared with you guys today for the books. Again, the books are going to open up March of 2025, and I hope this helps you guys decide what might be right for you. There's a lot to choose from, and I really, really don't want to do any more, but I have some new designs coming down the road as well. I have my book here for which I am always constantly drawing and constantly coming up with new ideas. And to be honest with you, I don't even want to show this because it's really too much. But I tell you guys what, I can't not show you just one of them. There's 2 of these kind of designs that I've been playing with, but this one I'm really kind of excited about. Oh no, where'd it go? I gotta find it. So I've been playing with doing this style knife, and I drew that out, guys, and that is a Bowie Cardinal. Aren't you guys glad I reach out and I do this to you guys? Who knows if that's going to come to fruition this year or not? But I have 2, count it, 2 Bowie styles that I am working on right now. There's this one and another very, very special one that's not based on any other design that I have. So you got to keep checking in because you never know what I'm going to be popping out next. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. Again, the choice is always yours.